I am a director of photography, also known as a cinematographer.
What exactly does a director of photography do?
On a movie, music video, or commercial, director of photography is basically the person that takes the script or the concept and puts it into visual form under the direction of the director and the producer.
Mm-hmm.
That's my basic job. I lead a team of people that work in the camera department, lighting department. So I can lead as many as 20 some odd people at a time.
How did you get into the business?
I went to school. I went to Brooklyn College, and upon graduation, I worked my way into an internship program on the movie Clockers. And on the internship, I was the electric intern. So I worked in the lighting division for 3.5 months for free. And then after that, I worked a little bit more for free just to prove myself to some people in the business before they started hiring me to work as an electric. And then things just kept moving from that point on. The whole time that I was in school, I was shooting films for people, shooting films for my friends. And I'm sorry, my brain is in two places at once right now. So yeah, the whole time that I was in school, I was shooting films for my friends and for myself. And then when I got out into the business, I still continued to shoot films while I was working as a technician on sets, and I was learning a lot and then applying what I was learning, to the little jobs that I was shooting. And finally, in '99, from doing both things at the same time, I was able to make the leap professionally to DP, and I stopped being a technician. Now I'm working for people at the likes of Spike Lee, and I'm shooting a lot of independent films and music videos. And I'm working, full-time professionally as a DP since 1999, and here we are in '06.
Okay.
How's I introduced to what? To filmmaking?
Yes, to filmmaking and the field that you're in.
Filmmaking, I appreciated it as a kid. I always loved watching movies, especially I was way into fantasy, so I love Star Wars, Superman, The Goonies, all those flicks, Spielberg and Lucas, and all them Hollywood fantasy joints. I really like them. The superhero stuff. But I never really thought about it as a viable career option, because I'm from Brooklyn, and I didn't know anyone that made movies. And I heard of this place called Hollywood, and I just assumed that to make a movie, you have to be in Hollywood, and you have to be a certain kind of person. So it never occurred to me that I can do it. And honestly, it wasn't until Spike Lee was making movies, and I hear about this black dude from Brooklyn that's making films, and then it occurred to me oh, you can do this. You can actually do this and be, from Brooklyn, be from Flatbush, Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hill, whatever. So when I enrolled into college, I enrolled first into TV radio, because I didn't really know the true difference between film and television as far as application and even the philosophy behind producing television versus producing film. So when I got into college, I took TV radio, and then I think my second semester, a girl that I went to high school with was in one of my classes. She said, there's a film department here, you should check it out. So I took a film class, a film studies course, and just their approach to motion pictures and how you make them and how you conceive them was just incredible to me. I immediately latched onto it. And then the semester after that, I took a production course where we actually were able to go out with a camera, and I had a Super 8 camera class. Super 8 is what we made those films on. And that was it. It was a wrap. And I immediately gravitated towards the camera. So I would shoot my own stuff, and I would shoot for everybody else. And then I just became one of several go-to guys that were in the school that people would say, hey, will you shoot my film? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I would just shoot everyone's film in school. And that was basically it. It was just like a match made in heaven. I really enjoyed filmmaking all around. While I was in school, I loved editing. I loved even sound design. I did some sound design in the course. But the camera definitely, I felt was the most for me. I felt that was the most powerful part of the whole industry. You know, I mean, the camera is everything. It's what you see. What you see is what you get, and the picture's worth 1,000 words. So, you know, having that camera and being behind it was really what I wanted to do, and that was it. Just felt like a good fit.
Okay. What has been your most exciting moment on the set period since you've been in the business?
I don't know what my most exciting moment is, honestly. I really don't know. I mean, the whole experience oftentimes is very surreal. When you're in the thick of it, you become, or at least for me anyway, I just get into a zone at times, and I'm completely oblivious and unaware to anything that's going on around me. So I can't say it's necessarily exciting. You know, I think in retrospect, things are exciting, but not while it's happening. It's usually not fun while it's happening, actually. It's usually real hard work, you know, and you're usually under the gun. You usually have a lot to do and never enough time, crew, or money to achieve it. So while we're doing it, it's really not exciting. But I think probably a film that I had a lot of interesting times on was Shottas, which was an independent film, basically a Jamaican gangster film. But that was probably the most exciting. If I had to say exciting, that was probably the most exciting, because on that film we did everything. We had all kinds of different rigs. You know, we did everything from locked off camera shots to handheld to Steadicam to cranes to camera cars to helicopters, speedboats, you know, mounting on all kinds of different exotic cars. You know, we did so much in that 5-week period, as well as shooting both in Miami and Jamaica. I had a ton of action sequences, gunplay. So it was like a fun popcorn kind of experience, you know. You knew it was the kind of thing, even while we were making it, we knew it was the kind of thing that once people saw it, they would be entertained by it. But, you know, I like various genres, and that happened to be one of them that I really, really enjoyed.
Where do you see yourself in a couple years in the future in the film business?
In a couple of years, you know, still doing the same thing that I'm doing now, and want to be more respected for it, definitely. You know, at the end of the day, this is an ego-driven business. So even if you're the nicest guy in the world, you still have a ego. And, you know, you do want it to be stroked. I'm not even ashamed to admit that. You know, you definitely want to get credit, and, you know, you want to shine. You know what I mean? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't let it go to your head. Because at the end of the day, people can kiss your ass and tell you this and that, but you're only as good as your last job. And this is a business where people will drop you like a bad habit, you know, without a second's notice. So, you know, you don't get gassed, but it's definitely gratifying to be recognized for something that you do.